Hey guys, and welcome back. So, my coconut's been getting a little too big for where it's been located in the house. So I thought, might as well pot it up. It's getting warm outside. And I'm just going to go ahead and pot this baby up. It's getting pretty big, and I can already tell it's probably not as healthy as it could be because it needs to be in soil. The roots are getting really long, and I'll show you here in a minute. So, what we have here is we have some regular soil. This soil here sorry for my French, here is actually really fine and coarse. I mean, it's almost like a sand-like material. It's really nice. I'm going to add some perlite to it. We have our coconut, of course, Cocos nucifera, or nucifera. Don't know how to pronounce it, but that's the scientific name. The pot that it's going to go in. Now, I want it to be in a small pot because I'm actually going to try to bonsai this thing. I'm going to try to get it really tiny, and I'm going to try to get the leaves to split, and that usually takes a couple years of growing coconut trees, so hopefully it'll work. And I have a watering canteen here, my little watering pot. I have my Canyuma soil, my large and my fine grade over here. So, like I said before, Canyuma is actually found in Japan. It's supposed to be an acidic claytic soil, and it's only found in certain parts of Japan where there's volcanic soil, so near the volcanoes. And it's pretty expensive if you buy it from an online dealer like the ones that I posted before, but it's actually a pretty good deal. If you can't find it though, just use some vermiculite and perlite and I think you'll be fine. But for this reason I'm using this is because coconut trees actually like a somewhat acidic soil. They like a pH around 5 to 7, I believe. So with that in mind, this Canyuma should bring down the pH a little bit, making it more acidic. But it shouldn't make it too acidic because I'm only adding a little bit. And then back here I have my perlite. This is some that I got from Star Nursery. It was like $4.50 for something. I think it was around $5 with tax. So it's pretty expensive, but you can find some at Home Depot for like $4.70. So I recommend going to Home Depot to find it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So we're just going to move this aside a little bit, and I'm going to take my actual pot here. So I'm going to take my large grade Canyuma, and I'm just going to fill it into the pot, and I'll show you here in a minute. So I'm going to take some, put some at the bottom there, and this is only for good drainage. This is the only reason why I'm doing this. And you can see it's kind of like pushing up clouds of dust. That's just the clay. It's starting to dry out. Okay. Alright, that looks pretty good, so it should look something like that. And just enough so that when the roots start growing down, it'll grow around it, and plus the soil will be moving downwards, so it should be fine. And plus this is just going to help the water flow right through the pot. So now that we have that, I'm going to go ahead and prepare our perlite soil mixture. I'm just going to open up a perlite bag. I'm going to get the perlite ready. Now the perlite is actually really interesting. It looks like a sponge rock. It's really interesting. If you actually have seen it before, this is it right here. It's very fine grade, and it's actually really foam-like. It's almost like styrofoam. If you could actually get styrofoam this size, I bet you would probably almost do the same thing. But if you listen, it's crunchy, and it's basically like foam. It's not very water absorbing, which is good, so it's going to let most of the soil run through. So I'm just going to take some of this inside of our pot here. I'm just going to aggregate it a little bit. I'm going to add some perlite into our pot. I'm just going to start mixing that up. Nice. And you want a lot, because coconut trees love lots of good aeration in the roots. So we want to make sure that there's enough space for this coconut to grow in. We want those roots to be nice and healthy. Alright, maybe one more. And this is just for the top layer. I'm actually not working it into the bottom. This is just the first part of the soil. I just want to make sure it's filled with tons of this perlite and soil. So, alright, so now I'm going to start filling up the layer. Just going to put it in the pot. Oh, here, I'll go ahead and show you what it looks like. So you want something like that. Like 3 parts perlite and 1 part soil, I would say. Or half and half. Whatever floats your boat, because if you have good aeration, you're going to be watering more. Not so much good aeration in the roots, you're going to have to water less because you don't want it to get waterlogged and it will rot. So I'm going to go ahead and keep filling here. just a nice lower layer. Sorry for my mess. It's gardening. What do you expect? All right, that looks pretty good. And then I'm gonna take my Canuma, and I'm just gonna be adding little layers at a time. I'm not gonna be going crazy. And I'm just gonna add one handful, and I'm gonna mix it in. That looks pretty good. And it should look something like this. Alright. Now, the fun part. Let's go ahead and take out our coconut. Here we go, guys. So this is also an update because you will be seeing the coconut out of its habitat to see its roots and how it's been doing. It's been doing great, guys. I can't even tell you. Alright. Let me go ahead and pick it up here. Look at that. Wow. Okay. So, if I can move up to show you a little bit. Here's the actual coconut. And here are all these like fibrous roots. Can you see that? It's great because this is actually touching the water. So these are the roots that are actually going to be sucking out most of the nutrients from the soil. And this up here basically is just where the extra roots are coming from. These are probably going to die. They're starting to dry up. And then right here I have 2 new leader roots coming down. So I'm going to make sure that these get pretty close to the soil because we want these to also get down to where these are. So I'm going to go ahead and pot it up here. And I'm going to twist it in a little bit. Just like that. And I want to make sure that those roots are going straight into the soil. I'm going to push them down. And I'm going to twist it a little bit because I know these roots are pretty fibrous, so I'm just going to do that. And I basically chose this pot because it's really small. I don't want this coconut to be gigantic. I'm not going to be growing any giant palm trees. So I'm just going to leave it in this pot and see what happens. And if it gets too big, I will transfer it, but that probably won't be for like another year. So you'll have to seek refuge in here for a little while. Okay, so now that the roots are touching, I'm sure that it's being buried. That's good. So now we're just going to straighten it like that. That's exactly where I want it, right here. So let's prepare some more soil. Just got to take perlite, or actual soil here. You can see that. Very good. And add more perlite. Now, coconut trees usually grow in the in like the Caribbean and stuff, and they like a nice humid environment. So I try to do the best in here. I'm actually going to leave it inside of this greenhouse here because it gets nice and warm and humid with all my orchids. So I believe that this is the best place for it. I kept it inside in a plastic bag, as you saw, and I had it on a heater, and that was the only way I could get it to mimic the environment. So I think this is the best way. Now, something interesting, a fun fact about coconuts. Usually, when the trees, if you've ever seen them in like the Caribbean or anything like that, you see them kind of like arching towards the water. There's 2 reasons for that. One reason is that for the roots, they want to basically get far away from the water and move inland, so they basically try to grow away from the water, but yet down so they can capture some of the ocean water. And most of the rainfall, most of the rain actually comes down and enters the soil and goes down to a sub-level. But another reason why is because the palm trees lean towards into the ocean is because the coconuts actually fall. Once they're mature, they fall off the tree and into the ocean. And when that happens, they can travel to other continents or other islands, and they can go ahead and germinate there. So it's a very smart mechanism, and those coconuts will travel thousands upon thousands of miles in this warm water, and they will just find whatever island they can, and once they do, once they wash up on shore, they'll start rooting and they'll become this. It's absolutely amazing. So, I mean, if you want to check out some more facts, I'll go ahead and post some links down below, so then you can go check that out. You can see how they grow, some care sheets if you need some of that. I'll go ahead and post some stuff, so go ahead and check for that. And also, while I'm here, don't forget to check out my other social media sites. I know I stressed that at the end of my video, but if you could go ahead and do that, like me on go ahead and like and friend me on Facebook, that'd be good. I'm going to be posting some pictures of this, and I'll be posting a link to this video. So go check that out, and as well as Tumblr, all of it. Twitter, you name it. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and start filling in the pot. And you want to make sure that it gets around the coconut. We do not want any bald spots because these roots will dry up and that won't be good. So, alright. So it's filling in really nice. I like that. And I'm actually going to leave this top part exposed. Now the reason for that is I actually want the roots to dry out because I feel like that's going to be a nice like little display on top. The roots won't die. They'll be alive underneath, but the tiny roots up here will dry out and then they'll just flake right off. Now the reason why I'm doing that is because I saw a picture online. I'll post a link to that as well of bonsai coconuts. Now they do this in like Thailand and other places like that. They just take a random coconut like I'm doing and they put in a very tiny bonsai pot and the roots dry out and it does extremely well. And that's basically where I got my inspiration to do this. So I'm going to take some Kenyan again, mix it in there. Now I hope you guys really like this video because I'm going to be trying to do some updates and making sure to keep you guys informed on what is happening to it because I'm really excited to see what's going to happen and I'm hoping it does well, but if not, I'm probably just going to have to transfer it to a new pot because I'm sure it'll probably suffocate for a little while. Excuse me, sorry about that. And I'm also going to be doing a, if I can find one, if I can find another one of these coconuts, I will be trying to sell it online to one of you, if you want one, of course. But that's if I can find one, because it's really hard to find these. I really got lucky at the supermarket that I was at that this one had a little root on it. So, but if I can find another one, I will definitely try to post on eBay or Craigslist somewhere, so then you guys can have one of your own. So, and it's just I'm hoping for the best. So, we shall see. Alright, it's almost filled out here. Alrighty. That looks pretty damn good, I'd say. Just gonna make sure to push it down, tap on the coconut a little bit to get them all in there. And this right here is just part of the husk, so I'm just going to leave that. It should dry out naturally. And I believe that is it. I think that's it, folks. So here's my coconut. I don't know if you can see, but I'm going to go ahead and show you just the coconut itself. Let me scoot up here. So here's the coconut, and you can see here's the base, and the coconut, of course, right here, and the roots. So I made sure to cover the roots to where the tips can touch the soil, and they will gradually move down the pot. And same with these will just fill out. So I'm hoping for that. And it's pretty cramped, but that's exactly what I'm striving for. I want it to be cramped in there. I want it to stay small. And I was also reading online that coconuts really don't live that long if you keep them in areas like where I'm living. They don't like to be potted up and kept inside the house. They will usually live about 4 to 5 years. I'm trying to disprove that theory. I'm going to try to let this thing grow as long as possible. And I'm just glad, I'm happy that I was able to get this plant. I mean, look at that. It's absolutely beautiful. We have the first leaves, second leaves, and look, we have another stalk coming in right there. So I can't wait to see what's going to happen. Now, I'm going to go ahead and water. So, with coconuts, they love lots and lots of water. So I'm going to make sure to water it really, really well. And I want to see good drainage. I want to make sure to pick up the pot and see drips coming out. So let's go ahead and water it now. And you want to water it like right on top of the coconut. Alright, good. I can already see the soil working with the water and it's letting it drain. That's great. That's exactly what I wanted. Alright, we're going to let that drain through. Perfect. And if I lift it, yep, we are getting tons of drainage. Perfect. The perlite is working up to the surface, which I really don't like. So I'm probably either going to fill it with Can-Yuma or something, because I really don't like perlite. It just rises to the surface and it gets all over the place. It's really difficult to manage. Oh my gosh, I hope it does well. I'm really hoping for the best. I'm probably going to fill this with Can-Yuma. It'll look like sand. I think that'll be nice. So, actually, that's what I'm going to do now. Go ahead and press and squish all of this perlite down to get it nice and finized. I want it to be grainy. I don't want it to be all big kernels of perlite. Okay. Fill it with more Can-Yuma. Yeah, I think this will be good. I think I'll have good luck with this. I really do. I'm hoping for the best. Now, while I'm waiting for the coconut to start growing, I also need to come in here and start misting the tops, because the tops will actually lead to more leader roots. I can already see now that it's creating more little roots. If you can see that, these are these little tiny roots coming out. Those can eventually become huge leader roots, but not currently, because now that it's going to be cramped, I'm sure it's going to be wanting to send out more little tap roots. I think that's it, guys. We are done. I'm just going to go ahead and water one more time to show you what it looks like, the final product. Oh wow, that looks great. Water the plant again. Wow. Great. Lots of seepage and drainage. Perfect. That is amazing, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and now take my phone off of the tripod to show you guys up close what it looks like, so then you guys can get a full view. So let me go ahead and take my camera here. Sorry. Okay. So this is the coconut. And here are the roots. I don't know if you can see that too well. You can see here all these little tap roots coming in. Some of them need to probably be planted, but they're not as long yet, so I'm waiting on them. It's doing really well. I just hope it does pretty good in this pot. I'm hoping for the best, because I know coconuts can be pretty difficult. I had one in the past, and it did get sick on me, but that's because I didn't know what I was doing. But I seem to have a better grip on this. So, okay, and then I want to show you the leaves. So here's the stalk itself, and then we come up here and we have the first leaves, the secondary, which are really interesting. Love it. And then we have our new spike of leaves coming in. It's great. So I hope you all enjoyed this little video. I hope it was informative as well. That's always what I strive for at the end of my videos. I always try to make sure you guys know what to do too. So I hope this works out, and I hope you guys have a good time with this as well. I hope it was informative. So if you want to give this a try yourself, you won't be left in the dark like I was. I mean, there were a couple videos on YouTube, but they weren't as persuasive. I mean, I was looking at them and I was like, oh, I don't know if I can do this. But I finally worked up the courage to do it, and it seems to be doing very well. So I'm hoping for the best, keeping my fingers crossed. I hope you guys like this video. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Go ahead and comment down below and tell me, what's your favorite plant? I want to figure that out. I want to see what your guys' favorite plants are, so then I can get a good idea of what I can include in my next videos. So, anyways, thank you very much. Don't forget to check out my other sites as well, such as Facebook, Tumblr, Instagram, Twitter, and I shall see you all later. Thank you very much for watching this Dallas Church, and happy growing.